welcome to my channel, guys. I wanted to talk about something that is really an issue every time that it erupts, and there's always people on both sides of the issue. But what bothers me the most is that there's so many people on the left than the right. So here's the situation. Many times people talk about, oh, life is so hard in the diaspora, don't waste your time, going. In fact, people in the diaspora will tell you, don't even waste your time coming here. Stay home. Don't come. And they'll be like, oh, it's so hard here, it's this and that, it's blah, blah, blah. You see, it is all that, okay? I've been living out here for more than 17 years, and I can tell you for sure, yes, it can be hard. But let us talk about why it is hard for some people, because they never go an extra mile of telling you why they're having such difficulties, what happened. Okay, now, if you come say to the US, because the US is always where these issues come from, and people keep talking about, go to the US, you'll wash people, you'll do what, direct care jobs, well, that happens, okay, yeah, but it doesn't mean that's what everybody is doing, okay? I'll talk to you and tell you why people do those jobs and what it gives to them. Now also people are like, oh, she went to the US, it's been 1 year now, she's talking like an American accent, I'm a bleach accent. I'll also tell you why people have to work on their accent in order to survive in the USA or anywhere. So now let's talk about surviving in the US. So most of these people, when somebody tells you, oh, don't come, it's very difficult, ask this person, how did you get there? What have you been doing in your life since you went to the US? Some people come to the US with very mixed priorities. For some people, they come here believing as soon as you land at the airport, you just walk out of the airport, there's trees you shake like this, and money starts falling down. Unrealistic expectations, guys. I can tell you for sure, here, you have to work. That's for sure, that's number one. Now, back to priorities. You find somebody has a green card coming here, and they decide, okay, I'm not gonna do school, I'm not gonna do anything, I'm all about making money. So you come in here and you start doing the jobs that are available, and the jobs that are available are like working in stores, working in gas stations, doing direct care, ya kuosha watu that people keep talking about, and just this. But those jobs don't pay so well. You get like $15 an hour, $12 an hour, $13 an hour. They don't pay well. So tell me how you're going to sustain yourself with one job that pays you $15 an hour. And remember, when we come here, we leave our families back home, and we have to take care of our families. See, when you maju, now you're the one taking care of everything. You are the one now buying your mama house. You're the one now doing everything, paying school fees for all your siblings. You're the one taking care of all the bills. Back home in Kenya. But also, you have to survive in the US. So now tell me why you are not going to get a second job. And sometimes you get a second job, and even the second job is not enough. You need a third job because of the choices you made. The choices you made, your priorities, okay? Those are the people who will tell you, oh my God, I hardly get any sleep. It is so difficult here. Life is hard. Oh my God, I have 3 jobs. I am struggling. I am suffering. Don't come to this country. Those are the people, even despite the fact that they came with green card. That's such a huge privilege, you guys. Green card allows you to go to school. Green card allows you to work in the US, and green card allows you to live in the US. So live, work, and study. But people make choices that have consequences, and they're not ready to deal with those consequences. Now, they will use their own situations to make other people feel a certain type of way or to discourage other people. Here's another scenario. You come to the US, you say, okay, I want to work, but at the same time, I need to get myself to school because I want to be a professional. I don't want to be stuck in this limbo where I'm just about money. So people sacrifice 3-4 years to go to school. Meanwhile, they're working one job, okay? So you are half student and you also work. Many people who do this succeed because you're working and you go to night school, or maybe you are scheduled, you plan your schedule very well, because many employers will understand your days when you have to go to school. And you go through school, study, whatever you want to do with your life, if it's nursing, if it's finance, if it's accounting, whatever it is you want to do with your life. And then once you graduate, now you are very, very competitive in the marketplace. So you start looking for jobs that make sense to you, the jobs you want to do. And that means you can actually get a job that pays you well, makes you comfortable to pay your bills, and even have extra to send home. You don't need to do 2 jobs or 3 jobs or 4 jobs, because right now you have a legit profession, because you invested your time, you sacrificed your time and went to school. So you guys, when you hear people talking about, oh, life is difficult, why is life not difficult for everybody? Why isn't life difficult for everyone? I will never sit down and say, oh, America is terrible, life is so hard here, people are suffering. Never. You'll never hear me say that. I'm the kind of person who tell you, if you get an opportunity, take it and run with it. Come to America. We need more of us here. I'm that person. And I'll continue preaching the positivity, because at the end of the day, it depends on how much somebody screws up. If you come here with mixed priorities, or your priorities are so confused, you're not going to make it. But if you prioritize whatever, your life, when you get here, you're going to make it. America is a land of opportunities. You can be anything here. You and your boss can both drive Beamers. You and your boss can both drive Range Rover Sport. You and your boss can both drive G-Wagons, and nobody cares. Nobody asks anyone, because it is possible to do it here. Also, America gives you stuff like alcohol. You come here, there's a liquor store in every corner, and alcohol is very cheap. So some people come in here and they start seeing how alcohol is everywhere, readily available, very cheap. They start getting into that life. Oh, with $1, I can actually get a bottle of beer. Oh, with less than $1, I can get a can of beer. And it gets into their heads, and this, this thing where, Kenyans and drinking. So they get into that life. And that's how people start going down the drain. Also, when you come here, the person who hosts you, be careful who invites you to their home. Some people will not teach you the ways of surviving in this country. They will put you there and try forcing things on you, or don't bother trying to look for that job, you'll never find it, or you must start by cleaning. No. I came into this country, my first job wasn't cleaning anyone. I was a cashier. Okay? I didn't even know how to count them coins. I had to struggle to know which one is a penny, which one is a quarter, which one is a dime. But I learned on the job to give change, so that I give correct change, because I was, those little coins. With the dollar bill, that's fine. So, you guys, people should never tell you what you need to do with your life. You are your own person. There are people who come to this country without papers, guys. When these people come, maybe you come on a visiting visa or another different visa that's not a residential one, and then you decide, okay, I'm not going back. So you see what you've done to yourself? You have decided to be undocumented, and you've decided to go underground. Now tell me how you expect things to work very straight for you when you're doing that. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying, obviously you will not have the opportunities. Obviously you will not have the flexibility. Obviously it will be very difficult for you to survive in this country. Again, those are the people who will be out there screaming, do not come to this country. This country is effed up. America is the worst. Do not waste your time. If you have to do it, stay home. My God, people are going to countries like Saudi Arabia where people are being beaten, some are being killed, things are happening to them, and you compare that with the US. Come on now. Land of the free, home of the brave. No. What I'll say is, people need to make choices according to their own circumstances. You know your own issues, you know your own self, you know your own life. If you're a lazy person, don't come. I can tell you that for free. Don't come, because you'll never make it here. If you're the kind of person who don't know how to set up goals and don't know how, you don't have expectation, you don't have priorities, don't waste your time coming here, because you'll also not make it. But if you know you have a plan, if you know you have a certain future that you want, and you're ready to go for it, I would say of all the countries in the world, the USA is where you're supposed to go. It gives you, it's a level playground. Whatever you want, you go for it, and you'll achieve it. Now let's talk about accents. Ooh, you thought I forgot, huh? So, having worked in corporate, myself also having worked in retail banking, when you're talking to people, you're serving people face to face. it's very difficult, especially for us Africans with our heavy, thick accents or thick tongues, to talk, and we're saying these words, but it's very hard for them to understand because they say it in a different way. For example, I just say I'm going to church, but no, them, they don't know what you just said. It's church. I'm like, okay. So here's the deal. It's not because we want to bleach the accent. It's because we want to survive and we want to keep our jobs. Okay? That's why we do it. You have to do it. Right now, I don't have so much accent because I'm addressing you, so it doesn't matter. But when you're in that situation where you're talking to people on a professional platform, trust me, you need to communicate. If you're not able to communicate, what's the point of you having that job? So you have to work on communication, in that whatever you say, somebody needs to understand in order for this thing to work. Like, it's, you know, you giving, I'm receiving, I'm giving, you're receiving, and we are all on the same page. I don't have to keep asking you, say what? Wait, what? Huh? You'll be fired. So it's not like it's a choice. We have to cope. Okay? Now, maybe you had these people who have lived in the US for so long, they don't have, you know, they don't have nothing, their accent is the same deep Kirinyaga accent. It depends on what you do as a job. If you work in a Kenyan institution where it's like, you can talk whichever way you want. But if you're working in a fast-paced environment where you're working with people from different cultures, you're working with, you know, you have to make sure somebody can hear what you're saying and understand you. Yeah, so you guys, let nobody lie to you that you shouldn't go to America, but then they're there. Ask them. You're telling us not to come, why are you still there? What are you doing there? Ask them. Come back then. Let's switch places. People come here, they mess up their lives, and now they think everybody's life is a mess. No. I know very many successful people. The community I work with, which is Kwitu, Kenyan women in the US, has so many successful women. We have so many, we have surgeons, doctors, professionals in every, think about it, we have it. We have professors, you know, we have engineers who work here, do big jobs here. They build bridges, they build roads, you know, these females. We have truck drivers, okay? We have so many. Of course, we have thousands of nurses, okay? Bankers, mortgage people. It's a lot. At the same time, we also have stay-home moms, women who have opted to stay home and raise their kids because it's very expensive to raise your children here in the States. If I was to get a nanny for my kids, I would have to pay them the going minimum rates, okay? Then I would have to get insurance for them. Then I'll have to give them that 1 day off or what. So you have to follow the labor laws. So if you look at what the labor laws, for many people will not afford it. So they'd rather stay home, have their babies, raise the 2-3 babies, and once they're done, they go back to school. And especially women, we go through this a lot because sometimes we come here with our children and we have to put our priorities on the side so that our kids can move forward. For example, you come here with kids who are like going to high school, or kids who are like or you know, upper, like middle school. So what do? You know, you make it so that these kids can go to college. The kids who are coming out of, so who goes to college? You or them? The child has to go to college. Maybe step back for a minute, and then after this kid has progressed, now you start working on going to college. These are sacrifices that women make every day. But let me tell you, be very wary of people who just preach negativity all the time. They preach negativity and yet they cannot leave. Ask them to come back home, okay? Now, my message to you is, if you've been trying to pursue a life in the United States, I don't know about any other place because I don't live there, I live in the States. If you're trying to pursue a life in the US, go for it. Don't let nobody talk you out of it. Come and experience it and make a decision. Say, okay, this is not for me, or this is for me. But at least come out here and try. You'll be shocked. You'll be shocked.